It was exactly what I needed at the time, and I didn't even realize that what I needed had changed. I left Berkshire Hathaway. If you would have told me even a couple months ago, even a week before I switched brokerages, that I was going to be switching brokerages, I would not have believed you. My husband Spencer and I, if you're new here, welcome. We're a husband and wife real estate team here in Oregon, and we have always said, like, we are never leaving Berkshire Hathaway. Just don't see the point. They are a great brand. They are a great brand. I still do believe that. Nothing negative is going to be said about them in today's video. I was going to sit down and just like write out my thoughts, and so I make sure that I am not missing any points that are important to touch on for today's video. But then I was like, no, I'm just gonna do this off the top of my head and share my experience and all of that. So if we're a little bit all over the place, I apologize. Just a little background. I got my real estate license when I was 18, and I've been with Berkshire Hathaway my entire real estate career. I was on my 8th year with the company when we left, and my husband, he jumped in and joined me in real estate a couple years after I got licensed. I think we were like 21, maybe when he quit his job and joined me full-time in real estate. And he obviously joined me at Berkshire Hathaway. So we have both been with Berkshire Hathaway our entire careers in real estate. And switching brokerages is just something I never have taken lightly. I don't take it lightly, and I didn't even when I was a new agent. I remember being a new agent, or even just a newer agent. I mean, 8th year, that I feel like that's still new, but sometimes. But I remember being a newer agent and seeing all these different realtors just switching from brokerage to brokerage. Like, it was no big deal. I don't know, that was so crazy to me, because when you switch brokerages, it does put, when we did it this time, we were like on it. It was quick. It literally took us like a day or two to get everything completed and switched over, but we were working on it like nonstop for that day or two. But it can be a lengthy process. It can put your business on hold if you're a procrastinator with it. You have to buy new signs. Like, there's just a lot of things. You got to change your email if you didn't buy a domain before. So there's like a lot that goes into it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Switching brokerages is not something I take lightly, and we always had just the perspective of, we're with a great company, so what's the point of leaving? It's in our best interest to stay somewhere long term. Like, if I'm gonna be somewhere, that's where I'm gonna be. I'm building my brand here. And yeah, I went from having zero interest or thought or reason in switching brokerages, like now or in the future, ever. I went from like having that mindset to switching within a week. Beginning of the week, I think it was Monday, I actually filmed a vlog on this channel. I was taking my daughter with me, and we were going, at the beginning of the vlog, we were going to my office, the Berkshire Hathaway, the one we were with. We were going there to clean it out. And at that point, that was Monday, I had zero interest in leaving brokerages. It wasn't a thought, it wasn't an idea. There was just no reason. We didn't even know where we would move to if we moved. Like, that was never a discussion that we had. Like, it was never a thought in my mind. So that was Monday. By the next day, I started having this, I don't really know how to describe it besides just like an intense desire to switch brokerages. I had this intense desire that didn't really make sense, go to a different brokerage. I knew the brokerage we are at now, I didn't know existed at this point, okay? But I knew basically in my heart that I wanted to be at a brokerage like the one I'm at. That maybe is a good way to put it. Yeah, it was so weird. It came out of nowhere. I didn't watch a video about switching brokerages. I didn't meet an agent that switched brokerages, didn't have a conversation with anyone. Like, this literally came out of nowhere, and it was like so strong and burning. And so I knew, like, this is something to pay attention to. Monday, I had no plans or thought of moving. I was actually going to my office to spruce it up and make it a little bit nicer. I never use it. I was going there to clean it, not to take everything out and like clean it out because we're leaving, but to clean it so that it's nicer for us to work there. So next day, or by the end of the day, I am like 100%, I keep telling my husband, I'm like, we need to switch brokerages, we need to do this, this is what we need to do right now. And he was like, no way, like we are not switching brokerages, this is not, like there's no reason. He was not sold. By the end of the next day, Wednesday, without me saying a single word to him about it, trying to convince him, I didn't do any of that. By the end of the day, he was 100% convinced as well. He knew in his heart, like, this is what we're supposed to do. So this happened very quickly. By the end of the next week, we were already switched over. So this happened very fast, and every day I'm discovering something new or finding something new out about this brokerage, and it's just like a confirmation that this is where we're supposed to be. After moving, it's been maybe a month now, we both, my husband and I, feel so 1000% that this is where we're supposed to be. We are so excited about this company that we're with, but we're also just so like over the moon using all of these resources. And a big thing is just like the automation that we're able to have for our business now. Like we have access to things that we never even thought of or knew was possible. We both just feel like so excited about our business for the first time in a long time, and I could not be happier with this decision. I know, like 1000%, we both know after switching that this is completely and entirely the right move for us, and I'm so excited. I'm going to make a follow-up video within the next week or two sharing about what brokerage I'm at now and how I like it, why I like it, and just like all of that, because I feel like if I share that right now, this video is going to get way too long. I could probably sit and talk about all of that for like an hour because, like I said, I'm very excited. Let's talk for a minute about my experience at Berkshire Hathaway. What was it like? Did I like it? All of those things, because a big question I've been asked a lot before previously on this channel is, how do I go about choosing a brokerage? What brokerage should I choose as a new agent? I guess this is just going to be me explaining what drew me to Berkshire Hathaway in the first place, what my experience was like there, and what I liked about it there. Kind of like my farewell. That chapter is closed. I went to real estate school in person instead of online, and when you go in person, where I'm at least, something that's really cool about it is they bring in different principal brokers from different brokerages, and those principal brokers chat a little bit about their brokerage, what the culture is like there, what they have to offer you as a new agent, and all of that. And it kind of helps give agents clarity on where they might want to interview at once they do obtain their license. The week that we had Berkshire Hathaway come in to the real estate school, I just knew immediately that's where I want to be. So I interviewed a few other brokerages as well, but Berkshire Hathaway was, they seem to have the highest standards at the time. Now, every franchise is going to be different. I would assume every location, every principal broker, but at the time, they seem to have the highest standards for their agents. I remember one of the gals who I interviewed with at a different franchise, I won't say their name, one of the things she told me was, you know, there's not a lot of pressure. If you don't want to, you know, if you only want to sell a few houses a year, that's perfectly fine. And I, like, that just didn't sit well with me. At Berkshire Hathaway, they were saying things like, you have to be full-time. We don't allow part-time agents. We don't want people that are just dabbling. If you are part-time, you have to like start part-time with the intention of eventually going full-time and like, you know, quitting your other job, because we want like serious full-time agents. And I really liked that. The training was very, very good for what I was doing at the time to get business. They had great training on for sale by owners, expired listings for new agents, and door knocking. When I was a new agent, it was exactly what I needed. There was always tons of people at the office. I worked from the office all the time. I mean, pretty much every day, unless I was out on appointments. I was always at the office. I attended all the office meetings. I attended lots of trainings, and that was for, you know, years during that like hustle phase of my business, which I'm very, very, very much out of at this point. And it was great for that. But the last few years, really since like, I don't know, it's probably the last like four years, I would say, 3.5 years, I haven't been going into the office. I work from home. That just kind of made the transition a little bit easier for me, because it's not like I was at the office all day involved in all these things. Like like leaving, it wasn't that hard because of that. So Berkshire Hathaway was the best thing that happened to me when I was 18. At that point in my business, it was literally exactly the company, the way it was at the time, like everyone that was there at the time, what my business looked like at the time. It was exactly what I needed at the time. And I truly don't think my business would have launched, and I don't know if I would have even been able to continue in real estate and to had built a successful business if I didn't have that support in the beginning from my principal broker. It was exactly what I needed at the time, and I didn't even realize that what I needed had changed, and the direction our business was going had changed, and I couldn't have picked a better brokerage for myself at the time. So when you're choosing a brokerage, good tip is just go with your gut. I got cut off, but I guess I'm gonna just end here. So I will do a follow-up video talking about where I'm with, why I switched, and all of that. Before I ended, I just wanted to invite all of you who are still watching to a mastermind. I'm going to be teaming up with a amazing real estate agent in Florida, Stevie. She crushes it over on Instagram and on YouTube. You might already watch her on YouTube. And we are going to be doing a mastermind together. Everyone is welcome. I would love to see some of your beautiful faces on there. We're gonna just chat all about our businesses and share all the real estate advice. You'll have the opportunity to ask us questions as well. And it is going to be on May 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time. So again, that's May 17th. Put it on your calendar. If you're interested, shoot me an email. I'll put my email address here, and we will be sure to get you the Zoom link. I hope you can come. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. I'll see you next week.